co-parent in a healthy way with your, you know, your children's dad. And if you guys are not meant to be together, why force it?
Of us, and I'm going off topic a bit, but this whole thing of like Zim culture, you know, Southern African culture of charging men 10,000, 15,000 pounds, Lobola.
I'm in a relationship. I put 110% effort into my man. You know what I mean? Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Linda.
I'm Primrose.
And I'm Makaya.
And this is Three Sides to This.
We're back.
So,
Second episode.
I know.
Wow, what have you guys been doing over the last week?
Do you know what? I think it's just taking it in, and I'm so, like I said, I'm so excited. But even just getting here this morning, like trying to change my outfit, it's been amazing. But the kids are back in school now, so it's just back to motherhood, and you know, just literally doing that every single day.
Wow.
But
I'm literally just smiling because I can't get over the fact that like we're on our second episode
I know, right?
already.
We've done
Like we're on our second episode. Like I feel
Guys.
like this past week has just been, it's been busy. You know, like what Makaya is saying,
Yeah.
like motherhood,
school.
work, school run, trying to run a podcast. That is not easy. What have you been doing?
Well, you guys, you're doing really well, considering obviously that your children are still of primary school age.
I know.
isn't it?
Don't remind us, Linda. Don't remind us. You're literally living life, but yeah.
I am trying to see. You know, it's been quite busy.
Yeah.
I have been preparing because I will be going to South Africa, as you know. So it has been quite a busy week. But today we are talking about marriage. You know, it happens in so many ways because some of us, as we are from Southern Africa, our marriage is based on Lobola
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Do you feel that as you grow older, you know, with age, you
Yeah.
feel that, you know, there's much more of a pressure for you to actually settle down and get married? Because definitely that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, I've hit my 40s. I'm now in the big 40s.
You're 40?
You know, so...
Who is
What?
she?
I thought you were 25.
40 girl.
I know. You look good.
way over.
Yeah.
boy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
What? So you feel like because you're at this age now, you feel like, are you feeling the pressure, or is it just something
Or
that you
something-
feel
yeah.
like you want?
I feel the pressure, and more so from people around me. And,
Okay.
you know, I mean, I can go out for dinner and people will be like, well, are you not thinking about dating? You know, you need to settle down. And for me, it's like, why is it that you think that I'm not settled? You know, because I'm happy. I'm happy
Right.
with my routine. But why is it that, you know, you feel that I'm not settled?
Right.
What do I need to do, you know, for you to think that I am?
Or like simply,
settled?
why is it because there's a husband missing? Why do I almost look complete?
Yeah.
Look, I feel like I could argue with that because biblically,
The Bible says.
God says
Matthew chapter 5.
a man and a woman will leave their parents to become one. And I think sometimes that's where I'm torn because I believe in marriage. Like,
I
and
do.
I love marriage. And I feel like
Of course.
marriage is a beautiful thing, you know, a man and a woman under the same roof, raising your family. It's beautiful. Like,
Of course.
I want that. And
Yeah.
I know that like I'm going to get that. And I know that I'm going to get that. I'm going
Yeah.
to be someone's wife. But I just feel like what I don't agree with is the fact that like society almost pushes it that,
Yeah.
okay, when you're tapping into your 30s, sometimes you go on TikTok, you're seeing girls who are still in their 20s, they're saying, oh my God, I feel like I'm never going to find the one. I feel
Yeah.
like society almost makes it feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you've tapped in your 30s, you're in your 30s now, where is the husband? There must be something wrong with you. But then whereby dating now, it's so hard. It's so hard because there's so many men out there, demons.
Yeah.
The things that you're dating, and women too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of people,
Yeah.
they've got unhealed trauma. So dating now is just like not easy,
It's-
but it
it's very
doesn't take away the
difficult.
desire to be married,
Of
you know?
course.
Like
Right.
being from Zimbabwe. But I feel like me over the years, I don't succumb to that pressure because I used to be married. And now obviously I am in a what I call like a serious committed relationship. But definitely the pressure of being married, like, are you complete? And usually it's the aunties who are not married.
In it.
First of all, let's get that straight. It's usually the aunties who are not married who are
Yeah.
asking you like, when are you gonna get married? Are you married yet? And it seems like society almost doesn't care whether you're happy or whether your husband beats you up or whatever. As long as you're married, you almost seem as complete. So yeah, I've had that pressure, but it hasn't been like someone directly saying, "Oh, Primrose, you're not married, so you know what you do with your life." But it's like almost like an indirect thing. Like you almost feel yourself like, I'm not complete. Where's my husband? But at this age right now, I simply don't care because I've realized over the years that men are not the prize. Like, I am the prize.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you know what? For me, I feel like my family were quite liberal in terms of, we're quite liberal.
Because you're from Zambia, aren't you?
Yeah, Zambia.
Yeah.
But
Zambia and Zimbabwe, I just feel like we are like the same.
No, we're the same because we used to be one country before, right?
Yeah.
So we literally live in like Lobola. It's the same thing. We eat the same food. You guys call it satsa, we call it shima. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But my family in general were quite liberal. So, and I think just to Prim's point is that it's kind of like, it's an indirect, right? But it's a societal thing as opposed to like my actual family. My mom and my dad, they're just liberal. I mean, obviously they want the best for us as, as the children. They want us to get married and everything. But guys, at the end of the day, if things don't work out, they're not going to force me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And for me, we just, like my mom or dad, they're very liberal. I think it's more so maybe the wider family. But when it comes to my immediate family, they just, they want the best for us, if whatever makes me happy.
Yeah.
So if I have my children and I'm single or I'm married or whatever, it's literally what makes me happy. So, and I think I'm quite lucky because coming from where we come from, it's very cultural. You must get married today. You know what I mean? Like it's always, you have to get married, you have to have a husband. But I also think that in this day and age, this generation, I think that mentality is changing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's slightly changing. I mean, it's still there, but we're getting with times because at the end of the day, women are doing, we're all doing our own thing and, we don't need, I think compared to back in the days, we rely heavily on a man to provide for us. Whereas women now are providing for themselves. They can look after children. Yeah. So for me, it's more so like just companion as opposed to like, Because if just think about it, if you can have, let's just say you've got children out of, wedlock, right?
Yeah.
And you can co-parent in a healthy way with your, your children's dad. And if you guys are not meant to be together, why force it? Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I think it's,
so you're not in a position where you feel like you need to be married because...
No, not when it comes, but I think more societal. So from what I see around me, as opposed to like my actual immediate family. Yeah. So what I see when I see women on social media, it's around me. So I was gonna ask this quick, but do you guys think is today's age? So like you just mentioned, Primrose, that dating is is different, right? But do you think it's the times that we're in? Because I think like back in the days, right, people would get married quite quickly just because they want to. When women turn 18 or whatever, 20. They get married. So they're not even going through the dating stage. Whereas now, because of what we know and we've evolved and everything, right? So it's like we're now dating. And now we're realizing actually a lot of things out there is not even, do you know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of rotten and unhealed people. And I think because we never used to do it before, now we're doing it. Because now we walk, right? So we now walk and we're like, okay, we're dating. And we find that a lot of people are actually should not even be married, should not be in relationships, right? So I think in a way, I think it's positive. I think I'm kind of torn in between because I feel like we should be doing that because then we get to know who's for us and who's not, right? Yeah. Because nobody just wants to rush into a relationship and, get married. And that's what used to be happening before.
But then just thinking about culturally as well, I'm sure, back in the day, going back to where we come from, people used to have arranged marriages.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? People used to have arranged marriages. Your family would set you up. I remember when I was like 20 or 21, my first relationship failed. And my dad was like, there's a man in South Africa that could easily marry.
What?
You know what I mean?
Wait, how old was you?
I was 21.
Oh my. And dad was ready to marry you off.
My dad was like, he's got a good job in South Africa. He lives in South Africa. Obviously, I'm in the UK. And he's like, he's got a good job. This relationship, I was with a white Albanian man, right? For a good 4 years, the relationship didn't work out. And my dad was like, so how would you feel if we were to arrange this? And I was not comfortable with it. You know, and this is like culturally. But then looking at my mom and dad, they got together naturally, right? But I think because obviously he wanted me to have that guidance, and it goes back, you know, to the Bible as well, that obviously the man is, you know, the one that leads the home.
Yeah.
I was married traditionally.
Yeah.
You know, my ex, he started
Lobola.
the whole Lobola thing, right? And once that was started, because obviously there is an intention that you start the process and then you can pay the money over, you know.
They never come back. They never come back. When they pay your Lobola and they say, we'll come back.
Goats and, you know, the
Even Clear Pay won't find them.
But let me say something to you. So I've got a sister of mine, right, who's just recently had that whole process.
What, the Lobola
and the
process?
man is Nigerian, right?
Okay.
The Nigerian man was like, I'm gonna do this here now
in the UK.
Yeah, in the UK, just like in February time. He came
Yeah.
over with his people to my house, and my sister, obviously, she got married. You know, traditionally, she got married. He wanted to pay the whole thing, and my dad. I remember my dad saying to him, "Well, you can pay a bit now and come back later."
Right.
The guy was like, "No, I need to make
need
sure
to do
that
everything."
I settle this." You know what I mean?
Wow.
But I think obviously within us, our Southern culture, you know, men, they do understand that, you know, you can always come back, but people don't come back. And when it comes to the home, sometimes I would say that there is a bit of disrespect as well, because women are like, but you've not yet paid the full Lobola. You know, my bride price has not actually been paid off. And that could also cause issues within the home.
But that's also changing. This whole paying bride price thing. And I know obviously it's culture.
Yeah.
I want that. My man is watching this, you're paying.
Definitely.
I want that. But I almost feel like as time has gone, people are seeing that as like, is your family selling you off in a way? Because obviously back in the day, back home, somebody would bring a bag of rice, 4 chickens, 10 cows, and all of that. But now, especially from the Zimbabwean culture, this whole thing of and Zambian, this whole thing, this whole thing of us, and I'm going off topic a bit, but this whole thing of like Zim culture, you know, Southern African culture of charging men 10,000, 15,000 pounds Lobola. How are you expecting your child to actually go there and start life?
And I think, you know what it is as well? I think we've lost the actual meaning of it because, like you said, you know, before it would be like, okay, they will bring, you know, whatever, cows, whatever you can afford, right? They'll bring it. And it's just like a respect to say, okay, you know what? Our daughter is, you know, worth more than, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, whereas I don't think money buys everything, right? But money is not the answer.
Money's not the answer.
Because at the end of the day, if something's not going to work, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But now I think a lot of people just use that as an opportunity, you know, an opportunity. A lot of parents, a lot of, you know, just families, they use it as an opportunity because I know somebody that literally they did the Walla thing a couple of years ago and the guy paid half of it, yeah? He refused to pay because it's a lot of money.
Right.
It's a lot of money. And he did not understand.
How much was he being charged? Was he Zambian or?
He's Zambian, but I don't know how much he was being, but to him, obviously I didn't care to ask, right? But he was like, it was a lot of money and he didn't pay, you know, he didn't even like, he paid I think a quarter and they put him on a payment plan. No, I'm not joking, guys. They put him, no, seriously, they put him on a payment plan, monthly payment plan.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? And they'd already, that money was already, you know, like, they've already
planned for
it. This is what we're going to do with this money. And I'm just thinking, is this actually for this person? Like, you know, so I feel like.
And those things, they cause a lot of abuse in the household. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you've just got married to your man. He's paid £10,000, £15,000 to your family as Lobola. And now we are in a house struggling to pay bills and rent. He's going to look at you like, hello. I've just paid for you and now we're here looking.
And we don't
That's
have money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, so I think, you know, it's we have to be practical about these things as well. And guess what? That at the end of the day, if something doesn't work out, the man is gonna be like, I want my money back. Yeah. And what are you gonna do if you don't have the money? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but culturally it's not supposed to be like that, is it? Yeah, it's not.
But to be fair, I think we have, if you look at the world in general, right? There's so many cultures, so we can't say, because then it's like, if we're gonna say, okay, you know what, we're moving from culture, then we're gonna have to look at every other culture in the world and say, okay,
But I
what
feel
they
like even
do this.
Indian people,
Well, that's what I'm saying,
you have
yeah.
to. I think, I don't know if
They
it's
pay
Indian.
that,
Please
yes.
don't quote me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Indian. Like if you're dating an Indian man, you have to pay bride price to him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Really?
There's a culture like
Do you know,
that.
I've
That
heard-
the women actually have to pay bride
that's
price
like
to the man.
Correct us, obviously, if this is not a fact, but do comment on this. You know, obviously, if you're Indian.
Or like from a
and
different part of the world.
do women
yeah.
actually pay the bride price?
I've heard of that, but I don't know if it's
Yeah.
Indian.
Yeah.
But
I've heard of it
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't
But
it?
I feel like as a woman, I think with women sometimes we put indirect pressure on ourselves, but it's also a thing. If you go somewhere like now, Linda, you're a successful businesswoman.
Yeah.
You go into a company, people almost look at your fingers like, okay, is she married? Is she not? It's just a thing that they almost expect that of you.
Yeah.
You stand there, you talk about, you know, all your success, everything you've achieved and everything that you're doing as a woman. But the moment that you say like, yeah, I'm single, even top it up with I'm a single mom, there is the side eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sis, what I get is, how have you done all of this as a single mom?
As a single mom.
As if
it's
you are not able
possible.
to.
And
right?
why is it that we have to, you know, set the expectations quite low for single women than we do for single men? Single men are allowed to be ambitious. Why is it that we can't, or we are not allowed to be ambitious?
But I'm gonna ask you a question. How have you done it as a single woman? As a single mom,
done it.
yeah. How? Because
It's the drive, and for me, it's been the drive. It's like, what is it that I want to accomplish?
Yeah.
Who do I want to help? You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Because you don't just start a business with, you know, you've got to have a reason behind starting a business. And for me, it was like, I want to help these people, and I also want to help my family.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of people's lives that I would like to touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that has been my biggest drive. And people don't see what happens, you know, in your own home when it's like 2-3 in the morning and you're still having to do policies and procedures and you've
Right.
got audits to do.
Right.
And you're just thinking about, I want to try and keep people safe, you know? And that's been my biggest drive.
The safeguarding.
The safeguarding of the, you know, the care business and stuff like that.
yeah.
That's my biggest drive.
But do you think you would have still had this same success if you was married?
I don't think so.
Why?
I honestly do not feel so. Simply because I know myself when I'm in a relationship as well, sis.
Why? Are you like a lover
Relax.
girl?
I
Leave the
I just smell.
your
Is
brain leaves the head.
I'm not leaving it out.
Seriously,
I'm staying at home.
Would you not?
Yeah, I feel that, you know what, when I'm in a relationship, I put 110% effort into my man, you know what I mean? Whereas now my effort is split between running a home as a single mom and my children.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And my business on top of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I have to weigh up. Those are the 3 things that I have to weigh up. And then I've got my mum and dad, I've got my brother and his wife, and I've got my other brother in South
Right,
Africa, my
right.
other brother in Scotland. So it's like I'm the centerpiece, and whatever value I can create around them, I manage it. And I know for a fact that if I was married, I wouldn't be able to have so much of an impact on other people.
people.
I
Why?
don't know.
Is
It's
it because
something
you're
that
saying
I
because
struggle with.
your focus it will be just on the man?
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of women goes wrong.
That's how
like
we fail.
once a man can actually, because we're not saying that men are the downfall to women, but a man can actually meet a woman like you who's successful, who's doing her own thing, you know, care business, social worker, you know, running the household and all that stuff. He meets you, you fall in love, and then sometimes he doesn't even tell you, you then now decide that you need to be his all and everything, and then you forget about yourself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women do that a lot. They
lot.
feel like marriage is the goal.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like when I do some of my videos online, I always say like marriage is beautiful, but marriage shouldn't be the goal.
main goal.
Marriage
Yeah.
shouldn't take away your identity, your goals, and you know everything that you've built.
And also just to touch on that, I feel like if you have a man that's, you know, let's just say like, you know, you're in your position, right? You're successful and you meet somebody that you love, he loves you. I feel like if a man is not pushing you to be the best version of yourself,
Yeah.
there's something wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because men should be like vice versa. Do you know what I mean? So let's just say I've fallen in love and, you know, like, which, you know, I've fallen in love and then I'm not doing nothing for myself.
Right.
I would expect my man to be like, babe, what are you doing? Like, why are you not, do you know what I mean? Like, why are you just at home? Why are you just, I would expect him to actually be pushing me.
Yeah.
Because then I know that he loves me, because then it's selfless.
Yeah.
Because to me, I feel like anything that's anything that's, for example, if that man, if I know that, okay, society is going to look at my woman in a way that's not, or pleasing or whatever, do you know what I mean? If she's just going to be like, okay, you know what, she's a single mom, or she's at home or whatever, she just does stuff with the kids, she's not doing nothing. If I know that she's going to get, that scrutiny from society, why, would me as a man literally just, sit there and encourage that? Do you know what I mean?
But some women, like, just to touch on that, some women are actually amazing moms who just wants to stay at home.
Well, yeah,
because we need to point that out.
Yeah.
There's actually women out there who are just okay with being
and that's
mothers.
okay too.
And
that's okay.
being a mom already, it's a full-time job. Like, it takes work. But I think there's something beautiful about being a woman and having something for yourself.
I agree with that. But then let me explain this to you. I was working a 9 to 5. I wasn't present in my home. I would get home, and then still I want to be able to go to the gym. I want to be able to do all these other things outside of obviously being a mom and having a 9 to 5 job. And the reason why I created my business was to obviously work towards creating the lifestyle that I wanted to lead. And today I'm a stay-at-home mom. And my 13-year-old...
But you have a business running.
I've got a business running, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I love it.
Right.
I love waking up at home with my children. My 13-year-old, she's being homeschooled, right?
Amazing.
I've got an 18-year-old, 17, turning 18. She's just finished her A-levels. And we are at home together. We're having to do activities together. I love my lifestyle.
But do you know why have you been able to do that? Because you created a business.
I had to create a life
in your sleep.
Exactly.
But that's different from a woman who has 3 kids and who's just a single mom and who's just at home. Her responsibility is to wake up, take her kids to school, and back home, and that's okay. But I think you can still build, like what you were saying last time in our last episode, that social media now has made it so easy for women to build businesses at home whilst still being a mom.
While still being a mom. And I just feel like nowadays, if you're not doing, if you're, I think I've seen I can't remember we were laughing about this, where I can't remember who it was, don't misquote him, but it's a lady, I think she's Hailey something. She said, you know what, if you you're too lazy, if you're just not doing nothing.
Is it Hailey Melinda?
Yeah, I love her, honestly.
Good.
And she literally said that, you know what, you too, what was the word? Don't misquote me, but it's something about the fact that if you're at home,
broke to be not visible,
not visible
like
online.
That.
Yes, that's the word. Like, you're too broke to be visible, not be visible.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you've got the internet and there's so many people that want to do so much, right? But they just feel like, okay, everything has to be perfect, and they need to be out of the house. No, you don't actually. If you've got Wi-Fi, you're paying for your Wi-Fi. If money's coming out of your account, you're paying for your Wi-Fi, and you're not getting that return. Because the way I see Wi-Fi now, it's literally like it needs to
what's
return.
Your return on investment?
Seriously, what's my return on
exactly?
I'm paying £35 a month. I want to double that. Every single month I want to be getting £100 from that. Whether it's me talking online, I mean, guys, not started yet, but we're getting there.
This is the girl that was saying she's not confident with talking.
We've not seen your life.
Confident. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but look at you, Kaya.
No, but you know what?
Yeah.
I think, and that's what I was saying. I think, when you have people around you that motivating, right? Yeah, it's like I can see that, because if I didn't have you guys and I'm not seeing somebody, I mean, it's one thing to see something online, right?
Yeah.
And see amazing women doing something, but if you don't have that in your social circle, because you're like, okay, I can't see, and it takes courage. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes courage if you have somebody, that's doing well in your social circle. I can see what she's doing, and she's around me. How is she doing this?
How can I also learn from that?
I've reached out to Linda. Linda, I'm sorry, but how have you done this? Like, please help.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and marriage shouldn't stop that.
So do you feel that obviously society owes us an apology, as single mums and people, look at what you're doing, Prim, it's amazing what you're doing with the Kuti Foundation. You're helping so many people right now who potentially are experiencing suicidal ideation. And you are there as an anchor to try and support them to actually... And for me, it's more about the prevention side of things. you know, and look at you, Kaya. You know, you're working with moms, parents who've got children with disabilities and having to support them. It's amazing.
It's a
So
lot.
I don't want you guys to actually forget about,
Yeah.
you know, what you put in value in other people's lives on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to see.
And just touching on that, there could also be like women out there who are in marriages or who are not married, who probably have an idea. I always say this all the time. Every one of us have a certain gift.
Exactly.
Whether you know it or
yes, yeah.
not, you have a skill. As a woman, you have a skill.
Yeah.
Whether it's you know how to do hair,
Yeah.
whether it's you like yapping to the camera like myself, whether it's like you know about fashion and you know how to put
Yeah.
outfits together.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of women have these skills, but sometimes it's all about having that self-belief, that
Yes.
confidence, that
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
all about
like
confidence,
you
isn't it?
can
Yeah.
do something, you can kind of like break free from your comfort zone. And I feel like I don't want us to make it seem like, you know, once you're married then you're fully
That's it.
complete,
Yeah.
because there's so many things you can achieve
That you can achieve,
being
yeah.
single. And I feel like society sometimes, and I think this is more to do with culture, because like right now in the UK, the British culture, I don't think a lot of them, they put so much pressure compared to the African culture in terms of marriage and get married, get a
You
husband.
must get married today.
You know, like I feel like there's so many things that you can achieve as a woman before you get married. And if
Yeah.
you get married,
Yeah.
please continue
Yeah,
building
yeah.
on yourself. You know, don't get married and look at your husband as a one-way ticket to freedom.
Do
We
you know
all
what?
want that.
I always say that marriage should be, so it's two people coming together, right?
Yeah.
Complete,
Right.
right? Complete, as opposed to you know, coming incomplete. And by that I mean that, you know what, you've already worked on yourself, right? You know who you are in life, because when you meet somebody and then they don't know who they are, right? They can get easily influenced by, you know, by someone else. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And this is how you then have people that go into relationships, they just completely change.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are. Like, you know, they wake up one day and like, who am I?
Yeah.
And it happens
Yeah.
a lot, and especially with women, because I feel like men, it does happen with men as well, but I think it's more so women, right? So I feel like marriage should be something where, you know, two people coming in together, you know, they're healed. And listen, let's normalize therapy before getting married. Please.
And let's normalize therapy whilst we're actually
Yes,
married.
please.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's normalize therapy before we get married. When we're married, every 6 months. I don't know.
Maybe
once a
let's
year.
even normalize therapy before we're married.
Yes.
Because some people out there are not meant to be married
No, honestly,
at all.
yes.
Like what I said earlier, like there's a lot of people getting into relationship, forget marriage, relationships with unhealed trauma.
Yes,
yeah.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of work that they're supposed to do anyway. Like, for example, you could have grown up in a household where physical abuse was a normal thing.
Right.
Watching your mom being beaten
Yeah.
up by your dad was a normal thing. And probably you're a boy child. And when you're older, you haven't healed from what you've seen. So
And
you're
you
almost
repeat
going
the
to
same
carry the
cycle.
same,
Yeah.
you know, cycle
same
into your next
cycle.
relationship.
Yeah.
And then you find the man and you're like, okay, this is the man that I'm going to get married to. And because society and your church, don't forget about the church, the pressure of being in the church and being a
Yes.
single woman and you're not married.
Yeah.
Certain things like that will push you to,
Yeah.
you know, to marry the wrong man.
To marry the wrong
you know?
person. Yeah. But
but
It's interesting. It's a very interesting
been
topic.
Beautiful. And, you know, I just touching up on what you said earlier about this podcast, it's also to support women.
100%, yeah.
And 100% supporting women, whether you're married, you're single, whatever relationship status you are. You know, the most important thing is if you are looking after yourself, don't forget to pursue your own dreams, your own
dreams, yeah.
aspirations.
That
What is it
development is needed for
Exactly,
sure.
100%. You know, I've been married, I'm single, you've been married, you're single. Carrie, I don't
I'm
really
in a
know about your
relationship.
well, the past. Now you are in
Yeah.
a very good,
Yeah.
stable relationship, sis, and it's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just can't wait to come to your wedding soon.
Right? We're getting our.
We're getting married abroad, just the two of us.
When is the Lobola?
Yeah, that's what they'll be asking.
We won the Lobola.
When is the
Lobola.
Lobola? Seriously, I feel like for me, I respect more the Lobola type of thing
100%.
Then what? The white wedding?
over
That
the
is-
white
yeah.
wedding.
That is our culture.
That is the culture,
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
is our culture, Lobola.
So you know the white wedding, right? So that's just like going to the registry, getting the a certificate, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it? And then you have the whole. To me, I just feel like marriage should be literally like, okay, have you guys seen like all these marriages right on social media where you've invited 500 people, you spent so much money, and then it's like we're now hearing that it didn't last.
And then they're doing a video on YouTube. Hi,
To
I'm
me,
divorced.
And I think
It's so sad,
You know what?
isn't
I feel
it?
like a lot of people are coming, even like just off topic, right? But a lot of people are now they're not valuing marriage that way, because
Yeah.
we see so much, and then like we see all these big weddings or whatever, right? And then you hear 2 months later,
about
it
the
didn't
glam,
work.
yeah.
So to me, I just
yeah.
feel like, you know what? The most important thing is like just go with your, you know, partner, get married, go to the registry, whatever, and then just do a getaway. I don't know, getaway, or even like, you know, what do you call those marriages where you go, like you go
when you elope.
Yeah, elope. You know, do
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
because I'm thinking, why am I paying so much money for people to come
And
to my
it's
wedding?
expensive now to get
It
married.
really
Like, I feel
is.
like, okay, fine. If you have your odogu, and who can do that for
What is
you?
that?
What is it, Odogu?
I think an odogu
Like,
is like a
who's
rich man.
Oh,
Oh, is it?
Is that in Nigeria?
What Nigeria?
You get to have been around together.
They're gonna come for you in the
You
topic
get
six.
to have
Within
been
the
to
comment six.
Nigerians, yeah. But then, yeah, like if you've got someone that can pay for that, then
Yeah.
why not?
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Like I would definitely. I don't think I would want a big wedding to say. Like I think I would
I've
want
seen weddings
my,
like 500.
my
I think
wedding
what-
to be like 100 people max.
And
Because
I want
like if
people
you
that I know at my wedding.
because
I don't
right now
want
in your
random
phone
people.
right now, how many people do you actually talk to on a regular?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes I feel like it's our moms, our parents that would then say, like, you know, this auntie needs to come, this uncle needs to
Yeah,
come to this
right.
wedding. But usually nowadays, it's literally for show. And there has been successful marriages.
Girl,
you
I've
know.
been to weddings. I didn't know the people. I went to eat food. I literally went out, got my best dress. No, I'm being serious. I've literally.
But we've done that a lot of
Yeah,
times. That
I
we
said I'm going to
just
eat
rock up at a
food.
wedding.
Are
Just for
you
the
okay?
Wait,
food.
was you
Yeah.
invited?
Somebody
just show up.
A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend invited me. No, but seriously, and I didn't
Yeah.
know these people at all.
Yeah.
But I was invited by
Who's
somebody who
getting
knows the
married?
people.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's
But
getting
that's
married?
scary, though.
That's what I mean.
Imagine
like,
that. That's your wedding day, and
Yeah.
there's strangers in the audience, just
Invite
you know.
Just here to
only,
eat food.
no children.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of people are doing that now. You know,
What's
like
that?
on the
Only, no
yeah
children.
on the
Very
invitations.
intimate, yeah.
What,
They're
no
saying no
children?
children. Don't bring your children to the wedding. Like on
Would
an
you
invite.
have that? Just
I think I would have that, but then I
no
would.
children. Oh.
Yeah, well, I've got my son. He's 9. So if I was to get married now, I'll probably just allow my
Yeah.
cousins
Okay, to
to
come
bring their
with their kids and stuff. Yeah.
But for everybody else, no kids. Because if you've budgeted for like 200 people,
Yeah.
and then you bring your 4 kids, you
But
bring
to
your
be
3
fair,
kids.
I don't think I've actually seen where I've been. I'm just thinking of the weddings I've been to.
Yeah, there's been some. I've been to a wedding
It's
before
a
where
with-
you didn't
with-
want children. Yeah.
No, like the evening ones. I'm actually thinking, have I actually seen kids? I don't think I have.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like is it the reception, right? The reception.
Yeah.
So not the actual. So you have the day wedding where you go to like the registry or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have the evening reception. So normally those ones, children are just, you know.
Because I went to my cousin's wedding in 2023 and
And
I
had
went with
kids?
my son. And my son was disruptive. He was running everywhere, you know, like when they're doing like the bride and groom dance, and he
Right,
was on the
okay,
dance
yeah.
floor, and I was singing to get up and
Yeah.
pull him off. And yeah,
That's too much.
I agree. Like kids
My
can stay at
cousin,
home.
yeah, my cousin had a wedding. I don't remember now. It's a long time ago. I think my baby was a baby, and we just didn't take us
Baby was a
because
baby.
children are not allowed. But it was beautiful.
But
you
how
know
did
what
you
I mean?
feel about that? Like when you got an
Sometimes
invitation
you feel offended as a parent,
Okay.
right? But you have to be
But you
respectful of
remember,
the bride
yeah.
and the groom, that it's their day. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about them. And same when I get married, you know, I don't want to have a lot of people there. My family is huge. From my mom's side, from my dad's side, I've got a big, massive family, right? And I'm sure a lot of people want to be there.
Yeah.
But then, you know, going back to looking at your phone, how many people do you actually speak to right now?
Yeah.
You know, I am even much more closer to you guys
Yeah.
and my best
Than you-
friend
Yeah,
than,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a lot of my other family members. And sometimes it breaks my heart that, you know, I can't have that same relationship with my family than I do with my friends. But yeah.
But that's a whole other topic,
it's
though.
a different topic for another
If
day.
Glad-
I got married, my 3 kids are enough. No, seriously, because they will do the most.
They'll do the
I don't,
most.
you know, no. They will do the most.
Yeah.
They'll be disruptive. They'll be everything, you know.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
three is
it.
enough.
guys, but thank you so much for watching.
That was really interesting, actually.
That was really
Words of
good. Kaya's phone
wisdom.
keeps going off.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I need to put
So,
it.
any words of wisdom from Prim? Have you got anything
But
to
around
say?
in terms of like marriage.
Yeah, in terms
I
of
think like just like
marriage.
what I said before, like I definitely feel like marriage is beautiful. I feel like even from the Bible it says that, you know,
Yeah.
that two heads are definitely better than one.
Yeah.
But I think the advice that I can give women out there is don't look at marriage as the goal. And if you do, that's okay. But I also feel like don't lose yourself in the
Don't lose
process.
yourself, yeah.
That's
Like
it.
just even
Yeah.
if you get married, just still push for your goals. Just still also have an identity. And if
Yeah.
you're watching this in your marriage and you feel like, oh my God, I've let myself go, girl, start now.
Yeah.
Get up and do something with your life, you know. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, anything from you?
Yeah, so just to echo from Primrose, I think identity is very important.
Right.
Because you can be single, you can be married, but if you don't have that self-identity, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're married or you're single. If you don't know who you are, you don't
As a
have that.
woman, yeah.
As a woman, period. You're just gonna struggle.
Yeah.
And I think for me as well, like, you know, I think it's something I went through myself, you know, where like trying to find yourself. So whether I'm married, you can be a mom, no mom, kids, sister, whatever. But if you don't know who you are yourself, you don't have that identity. So I think just the core of it is really just knowing who you are.
Who you
know,
are.
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the core. And I think that shapes, just shapes who you are in general. So yeah.
And I agree with that completely. I think, I'm quite a big softie and I feel like I've lost myself.
She's such a lover, girl, this one. Let
I've lost
Linda not fall in love because this podcast will not exist.
Oh, but guys, what again? What business?
I'm
such
with
a
my man.
big
What
massive
business?
softie. And I just feel like, to be honest with you, I've lost myself a few times. And
When you're
It's
in
natural.
love.
when I was in love,
Yeah.
echoing what you've both said, it's very important for a woman to actually know who she
Yeah,
is,
Right.
what she stands for, how you dress, how you wear your hair, what you like to eat. Be very much weary when you're getting into relationships, marriages. Be careful.
Yeah.
And do always stay true to yourself.
Definitely.
100%.
Amen.
Stay true to yourself.
That's right.
So we're going to wrap it up and thank you so much for joining us today. It's been amazing, having obviously Prim and Kaya here. Do stay tuned to the next episode, which is Kaya.
It's all about motherhood, actually. So I think we've kind of touched on that today, but next week we're just gonna dig deep into that, delve into it, and everything motherhood and how that shaped us as women, as mothers, and
I'm excited for that.
I
It's a lot
really
of
am
it.
as well.
got a lot to talk
Got a lot to talk.
about. I thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. So don't forget to like our channel, subscribe, and yes, do spread the word. We're here to
Yeah.
make a change and a difference in people's lives. So
Oh,
yes, it's Prim. Anything else?
Nothing from me.
Right. Thank you
Stay
so much.
fabulous.
Right,
Bye, guys.
Bye.